there we go.
I can hear you now, and I can hear me. There we are. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Press the button.
Push the button. Push the button.
Push the button.
There was a film I've not been able to find. I can't find it online. My dad got it on VHS years and years and years ago. I think we might have been in Telford at the time. And it was called Raag, R-A-A-G. And it was an animated thing. And the long and short of it was questioning existence. And then it turns out that the people in Raag are in a man's dream. And they've discovered that they're in this man's dream. So then they put this plan together to try and get hold of the man and bring him into the dreamland and keep him asleep for as long as possible, because they're afraid, obviously, if he wakes up, they'll cease to exist.
Not trying to escape into the real world.
Mm-hmm. So
it's opposite of the plan I thought they were going to.
Yeah, they build this like massive arch contraption that they go through that takes them into the man's bedroom and they come back out. But there's this whole bit about them pushing a button in the library or something, and that they push this button and that's how they discover that they're in a dream, and that's what kicks off the whole adventure of trying to stop themselves from not existing, but existing in their own dream world, inside with the man dreaming inside their own dream world. But anyway, it's very funny. It's a brilliant film.
What year was it, roughly?
It would have been somewhere around 95, 96, 97.
No, this one's missed me by entirely.
Yeah, but it's a wonderful film. It's really good. But I've never been able to find it. Dad, if you've got a copy of Raag, I don't even know if you've pressed record, but if you have, just in case, Dad, if you've got a copy of Raag or you know where to find it, please tell me, because I want to show it to Adam because it's a great film. And I don't know if you press record.
And if you've got a tape recorder to send us.
Oh yeah, VHS player, that'd be great. Cheers.
Yeah, we are recording.
Oh, we are. Okay. Cheers. Thanks, Dad. Anyway, random start.
This is Rightly Used with Adam and Karen.
Welcome to Lightly Used, episode 25.
25?
25. We are a quarter of a century old.
We're nearly a year into doing the show.
I know, yeah. That's mad.
It's easier when we're doing it fortnightly.
Yeah, that's true. Fortnightly's good. We couldn't do it weekly.
Well, if we're doing it monthly like I'm insisting at the moment, we'd only have to do 12 episodes to get to a year. We're doing twice that.
Do you really want to go to monthly?
A lot of the time. Otherwise we have to buy the expensive mixer.
Well, yeah.
To make it a lot easier to edit.
I know, but Tom and Rob have been bragging it takes them like 2 to 3 hours to edit an entire episode. I'm like, that's totally worth the investment in my mind. Anyway, welcome to Lightly Used. I'm Karen, he's Adam.
Hello.
We are back in your ears, not in your faces, unless you're listening/watching this on YouTube. Yeah, what have we been up to?
Well, last week I said they put the anti-static strip on the Tatmobile.
Do you mean last episode?
Yes, I do. How? Nearly a year. Nearly a year. And I just literally a minute ago mentioned fortnightly.
Yeah, and if I was less of a bitch, I wouldn't have picked you up on that.
I'd probably still do it if we did it monthly. So it would make even less sense.
Last time,
unlikely used.
Sorry.
The exciting moment when I said I put the anti-static strip on the Tatmobile before we went to Abergavenny. It fell off already. I don't even think it lasted the trip there.
Oh no!
There was just no room to tighten the screws properly underneath between where it was fastening onto and the bumper. I can only use the glasses screwdrivers. There's only so much torque I can apply to it. So no, they probably rattled off before we got to the motorway.
So your tat is now someone else's tat, probably.
They wasted £2.
Bastard thing.
But we did, go to Abergavenny.
We did. It was a lovely day.
We decided to go on a Sunday before bank holiday, so everything was closed.
Yeah.
But there was a bike meetup.
There was. They were doing a Macmillan rally, I think they were raising money for.
So you pointed out some very nice bikes to me.
I did point out there was a lovely Triumph Bonneville there that, that made me a bit melty on the inside.
Making up for your lack of 2 wheels from eBay.
Yeah, I know. Jackson sent me another bike to consider the other day as well. He's like, oh, it's nice. And I was like, it is, but, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, it's that's right. He had like one owner from new. Good
Yeah.
provenance on the other one.
That's true.
That's why it probably went for a little bit outside the price range.
I'm sure it did. It was removed from eBay. I think he sold it outside of the auction.
But we recreated what we think was the walk following the Oracle of Spikes from
Yeah.
episode 4, possibly?
Gosh, yeah, probably.
Somewhere like that. Yeah, we walked from the Swan Meadows, the stone circle, the Eisteddfod stones in Swan Meadows car park, a little bit through the town, and alongside the castle walls,
Yep.
I posed recreating, pretending to climb over the wall.
There's video evidence of Adam being a ninja. 4 seconds.
I'm just posing against the wall. It does look like I'm actually trying to see if I can find a foothold.
I think my mum genuinely thought you were climbing over the wall. She was like, oh my God.
We're trying to work out where might Johnny Turnip have climbed over, and a bit further along, there's a much, much lower bit,
Yeah,
which
there is.
fits into the story of the size of the belly. So given the size of mine, it seemed plausible further down. If I could have managed it, I think a semi-professional long-distance runner could have got over the wall.
Absolutely. And he was a semi-professional long-distance runner still at that point.
Yes, yeah, he wasn't fully investigating the paranormal, but
No.
we kind of forgot to look around for the entrance to the underworld when we got in the castle grounds.
Yeah.
It was, we're in the castle. What do we do now? Kind of forgotten.
Yeah. Let's go find a nice bench to sit at and talk rubbish for half an hour.
There was a nice little garden there.
It was a lovely garden, yeah.
Nice and secluded, but a lot of nosy people coming out of the castle just looking straight at us as if we're going to go, let's go down there. The one place those people are on their own. Let's go and sit in there. But thankfully they didn't.
No, they didn't. They went the other way.
We chose the one table that was there.
Yeah. The entire picnic table for 2 people.
Dibs.
Yeah.
And also last episode, I did say I had a bit of a problem with buying mugs when we started the pod. And I said,
Yes.
I haven't bought any in months.
And what did you do?
The day after recording, we went to Abergavenny and I bought an NYPD mug in a
Yeah.
charity shop.
It's in his hand at the moment, folks.
And also when showing off Marvin the Martian, and we said, oh, it's his and hers Warner Brothers mug. We didn't say what hers were. We mentioned that you've got a mug.
Oh, it's a Wile E. Coyote.
We didn't mention it at all.
Oh, well,
we just referred to it.
Yes, I have a Wile E. Coyote mug, and my little Care Bear that featured in a previous episode lives inside him.
So yeah, this is a officially licensed NYPD mug, £1.25, and it's got a little hologram sticker still on it, so it hasn't been used. 2017, City of New York, all rights reserved. I think they've gone a bit overboard with the logos.
I mean, it is plastered.
All on the handle, 2 logos on the inside,
Yeah.
and then the crest at the bottom, the shield on either side.
And on the bottom as well. Is it on the bottom?
Oh yeah,
as well?
and on the bottom. Bloody hell!
Almost every available surface.
You just need it on the outside.
Yeah.
That's excessive, but I would like to see, the machine that's been on YouTube showing the big boob thing that prints inside of.
Yes.
What was the shape of the one that prints inside there?
I think it was probably penile. Or long boob.
They probably can't show that on YouTube.
Long egg.
Some kind of cross between a plantain and a boob. Also from last week, you have a correction.
I have a correction. I must apologise to you, Mr. Adam Court.
Why?
Because I insisted I was correct about something, but you had stated what the correct thing was, and I was like, no, it's not that, it's this. Like the fucking cow that I am. So we were
You were
talking.
being a Karen.
I was being a Karen. I'm very
I
sorry.
don't think I've ever accused you of that before.
I'm
Even
not,
in jest.
I do try real hard not to be
No.
Karen.
You are definitely not.
And I am aware of when I make mistakes, and I am happy to put my hand up to them. So I apologise for stating that the bark racing at Thruxton was on the 1st of June. I was incorrect. It was Anglesey that was the 1st of June. And I think the trucks and things that we watched a fortnight ago is the 6th of June, as you had said.
I did have a look in at the Caterham racing.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I apologise. I'm very sorry.
No,
Correction.
that's
Correction made.
That's all right.
Not essential, but,
Forgiven.
Thank you.
Honest mistake.
I suppose the only other thing I've really got to talk about is a bit boring, really. But does anybody know how to donate a new body to a human?
Not currently. I'm sure that we've seen on YouTube those millionaires are working on it.
Yeah. Can I have a brain swap out or something like that? Anyway.
I think you need an 18-year-old relative.
Oh, God, I don't think I've got any of those at all. I'd be surprised. I think they're all over that now, or significantly younger than that. But yeah, chronic illness. I don't complain about it very often, but I have fibromyalgia and it sucks, and I would really like a new body. Yeah, this is the most fun thing I've done in a fortnight. I've spent the last week pretty much asleep, so new body would be nice. And apologies in advance if my energy levels drop massively towards the end of the episode. I can already feel myself draining.
Try and be quick.
It's fine.
But I've got to. What sort of new body would you compromise? Would you be happy with? Would it be at least a brain in a jar? Preferably something better, maybe. But
I mean,
would it be a Dalek?
An upgrade would be really, really nice. Like, even just a carbon copy of myself minus the genetic defaults that make me shit. That would be fine.
Oh, you need a sex doll of yourself program that you can just wear a helmet and control that around. It's close enough to look like you, but not to be entirely convincing that people could entirely be fooled.
Would you be happy with an uncanny valley, Karen?
Well, I just saw an interview with Whitney Cummings, the comedian, and that was a shtick of one of her tours.
That's brilliant.
She had a robot herself made.
But, I mean, like, you know, Mars attacks me, stick my head on a chihuahua or something. I don't know.
The bar's fairly low then.
Transfer me into a cat. Oh, I could totally be a cat. I could spend 16 hours of sleep a day easily. As long as I had someone that would feed me and pet me and clean the litter tray, I'd be very satisfied.
How long do you reckon it'll take you to work out how to work a tail?
Ooh.
If that's something you've never had before, if your entire body, yourself as you, has been transplanted into a cat.
I guess it would, yeah. I mean, it would effectively be like learning to walk again. Like if you'd had a massive accident or a trauma that had prevented you from being able to use your body the way you had previously, then be transferred into something that could move, but moved entirely differently. I think that would take a bit of getting used to. I imagine I would have great fun learning how to use my tail.
Oh, and then also, once you've learned how to use it, it's getting used to it of, shit, it's out the corner of my eye.
Yeah, oh my God. Life does that.
That would explain it if a cat, that's the first time having a tail, but
yeah.
You see like cats do that all the bloody time. That's been with you for life.
Yeah, life does that to me all the time. Maybe I am a cat. Maybe I am the ghost of a cat in a human body, and the things that I see out of the corner of my eyes is my cat tail, but it's not like proper, you know, it's not built proper like the rest of me. It's in spirit form. So I'm not seeing a random ghost. I'm literally seeing myself.
No.
Oh my God, I'm a cat.
Trapped in a person's body.
Yeah. I've got a whole new outlook on life.
That would explain how much you hate the tummy tickles.
Not as much as you.
And when you go after the sunbeams.
Oh, I do like lying in a sunbeam. I'm like, that's it. I'm a ghost cat in a human body. There we are. We've figured it out. That's it. I don't need to discover anything more in life now. Only how to relax as the ghost cat in a human body.
And now how to become a robo-cat. And also working at retractable claws as well.
Oh,
that might be
yeah. I mean, I used to chew my nails off terribly, but I stopped doing it a couple of years ago, and now I'm obsessed with keeping my nails in decent condition instead of removing them as much as possible. Now it's like I've got to have a buffer on me constantly.
It's when you start sort of sharpening them on carpets and stuff, then we'll start worrying.
I can't do a... There we are.
Down the mic shield. I do have a bit of a question for you.
Ooh, go for it. Fire away.
Since that we both watch YouTube round each other's houses, we've both kind of mixed up our algorithms a bit. So one vid I saw in my sidebar was from Ghost Theory.
Oh,
That started
yay!
cropping up.
Love Ghost Theory.
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh,
It had a
what?
hilarious title. It was like 2 hours. And from what I've seen around your house, they've never found a ghost. So I'm presuming, why would they have found it on this one? Or surely they'd say, we got one, we found it. Here's a picture of it.
There was one a few weeks ago that was very close to being extremely convincing.
That'll be a legitimate use for the soy face thumbnail.
Yes.
Pointing at the ghost. But no, the title of this was Building So Haunted, Police Asked Us to Investigate. I have questions.
Okay.
Why are the police involved? Is haunting a crime?
Ooh.
And also, is the so haunted bit, is it like a gathering over 12 could be technically a riot? Is there an illegal number of ghosts?
A clash of ghosts.
Even if it's like ghost squatters' rights, surely that's civil, not a criminal.
This is many questions in one. Okay, I guess I would say that this property, wherever it is, I've probably seen this video, but I can't remember it off the top of my brain, sorry.
I think it's a recent-ish one.
I would say it's probably a building that is regularly broken into by local-ish people,
Okay,
as well as urban explorers, and there's probably a lot of reports of activity. So
These aren't crimes
maybe
that the police are involved with, as far as I know.
Maybe that's got back to the police, and the police are like, oh, let's send in some ghost hunters and see what happens. Or maybe the police were at the building, like clearing people out that had broken in and were being a little bit of a bunch of bastards. And then weird shit happened to them. And it just so happened that Ghost Theory were turning up to do an investigation in that property. And the police were like, ha, can you investigate the building? Because weird shit's been happening whilst we've been in there. Those are my two theories.
Yeah, I don't think the police are actually involved in looking at ghosts in any capacity.
I don't think it's an official duty.
I think it's a misleading thumbnail
But
title.
I think plenty of people, especially, you hear about it a lot in America, people will ring the police because they believe their house is being broken into.
Oh, yeah, that's
and things like
America,
that.
though. They've
Yeah.
got to put that on like estate agent forms. Like, this house is haunted.
Yeah. I mean, you do see police quite a lot in these urbex videos on YouTube because they'll be in houses that are close to other properties that people live in, and those people are probably used to the empty house being broken into, so they'll ring the police regularly and the police will turn up and ask you to leave. But they can't arrest you because exploring an empty abandoned property is a civil offence. Therefore, all they can do is ask you politely to leave. They can't arrest you or anything like that. Unless, of course, you're in there stealing the copper or whatever and they catch you in the act, then that's a bit different. But if you're just exploring, taking photos, doing a video, it's a civil offence, so they just ask you to leave. But they do often come in armed with tasers, so...
Oh, that'll show the ghosts.
Yeah. Zap the ghosts. That's the closest they can get to a proton pack.
Before we get to lightly used news, Channel 84 is a small indie podcast network started by TJ and Rob off of the variety show. Off of the variety show. And the entitled Sci-Fi Show. There's us. There's also Who Takes the Socks Off. Now, the other guys, they've all been going a bit longer than us. They've established their shows for a while. They've got Ko-fi accounts. It feels a bit cheeky for us setting it. We're not even a year old. We only do it fortnightly.
Yeah.
So, we did have episode 19 sponsored, though.
That's true.
Kinda. Have you seen Who Takes the Socks Off page of the Channel 84 site? And well, actually, no, we listened to the episode.
We did listen to their episode, yeah.
They've got some fancy new media conglomerate backing them now.
Yeah.
We've got art. There seems a bit of disparity here.
Yeah.
And, sorry, Arthur. Call me Art. Okay, get his name. They've got the Crimson Urchin Media. Do you hear they got in trouble years ago? Where they snuck into an art gallery and they gaffer taped a gun to a wall. It was loaded.
Oh.
The guy doing it shot himself.
Oh, fuck.
It was only a graze, but you just saw his blood and passed out. It was there for like an hour or so.
That sounds
People just thought it was part of the
part
installation.
of the installation.
But being out for an hour, it's super fucking bad for you.
Yes.
That's the CEO
Oh.
and founder.
Oh. should we be worried for them?
I'm not sure if I'm worried for his health, Crimson Urchin Media as a company, or who takes the socks off, or just worried for Art, because he's got this competition now. I just want him to know who he's up against.
Honestly, I think I'd be more worried about Ross and Simon. I'll put some faith in Art. Gently, softly, maybe.
Not be able to a great start.
It
could be too early to say. This was years ago.
People can change.
Yeah, it could have been a phase.
Yeah, maybe he was
It was the
having a
rebellious
mental
noughties or
breakdown or something.
I wouldn't have gone that far.
Oh, all right, sorry. Oops. Oh, dear.
Can we up on the show?
Oh, fuck! we forgot again.
We've got more from Johnny Turnip and friends he'd likely used to use next.
Fuck some sense.
Take it in turns to close your eyes and work out what we've got in Tat In The Box. We've got... have we got a game to play?
Yeah.
Oh, you came very light to this episode. I wasn't sure what we have.
No.
Do I need to break something out from the lounge next door as an emergency
there's
game?
already an option next to me in here, Octogo, but...
oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's not that one.
It's on the shelf of previously played stuff. That's what was... we've done that.
Yeah, it's waiting.
And we've got your choice of book to end the show in Bibliotat this episode.
We have, and I am looking forward to telling you about it, actually. And I think it will be a returning feature.
Oh.
A returning Bibliotat, just because it's so fascinating.
We dipped in and out of a few times.
Yes, it can.
Right, lightly news on the way next. For some more borrowed reportage, we turn to Tim Butters from the Abergavenny Chronicle on Monday, the 29th of July, 2024. Abergavenny man claims aliens walk amongst us. An Abergavenny man has made the bold claim that not only do aliens walk amongst us, but they have done since medieval times. And he also claims he'll soon have hard evidence to back up his sensational claims.
Ooh.
Semi-professional paranormal investigator Johnny Turnip told the Abergavenny Chronicle that he stumbled across the existence of alien life forms by accident when he was on a magical mystery tour to find the final resting place of the legendary King Arthur. A dead knight shared a vision with me in Llandovery, where the great bear was buried, and who put him there, explained Turnip. He was an eye-opener, all right. You see, contrary to popular belief, King Arthur wasn't just fighting the Saxons, he was also battling visitors from another planet. Once he'd done putting the Germanic invaders in their place, and he and the boys were celebrating their final victory at Mons Badonicus with a gallon of wine or two, creepy little aliens from outer space saw an opportunity to make a move. The sneaky, bulbous-headed, big-eyed freaks attacked when the knights were sleeping off their victory hangovers. Turnip added, the extraterrestrial bastards were ruthless. It was absolute carnage. Over half of Arthur's forces were decimated by ray guns. The king's swordsmen, archers, big nutters with axes, no match for the tech boys from another planet, especially since most of them are still half cut from the night before. All of this was revealed to me in a vision by the possessed statue of Llywelyn ap Gruffydd. But it gets worse. Arthur and what remained of his troops only managed to escape because Merlin managed to turn them into bumblebees, then flew as a collective swarm to the safety of Castle at Dunraven Bay, where they turned back into men and prepared to make one last stand in the name of humanity. As the UFOs circled and the aliens unleashed their lasers, Arthur and the boys put on the brave show, but they were no match for the intergalactic colonists. During the last pitched battle on the seafront, Arthur was the last man standing, but he also fell after being hit by a beam of pure light. Here's where it gets weird. As the UFO hovered overhead and prepared to vaporize the king, Merlin appeared in the skies as a mighty dragon that roared and spat out a terrible flame straight at Arthur. The flame didn't burn the great king, but it surrounded him and formed this kind of black stone which encased Arthur like a tomb. With Arthur's body completely hidden from view, the great rock fell into the shallow waters of the sea, which still stands to this day, looking like any other rock to the uninitiated. Turnip added,
Before the vision faded, I heard Merlin scream, "The king will rise again in this isle's darkest need, and Excalibur will lie with the Lady of the Lake." At that moment, an image of Tredegar Reservoir flashed in my mind, and I realised not only did I know where King Arthur lay, but where his sword had been dumped too. Turnip explained that after leading his war party to Dunraven Bay and telling him the true nature of his vision over a supper of egg and chips and some sugary tea, his claims were met with some scepticism. "Do you mean King Arthur's buried in the big rock?" said Puerto Rico Paul. "Or do you propose we get him out?" asked Big Tony. "It could be worse," said JFK Jones. "How?" said Fast Eddie. "Let's just wait until we see the sort of calibre of rock we're dealing with before we make our play," said Turnip. Turnip told the Chronicle that after a few hours' kip, he led them to the foot of King Arthur's Rock in dawn's unforgiving light. He later admitted, "As we grimly drank lager from our cans, looked at the waves crashing against the big black rock and imagined King Arthur's corpse rotting away within, all hope of restoring the once and future king's throne faded fast. Big Tony suggested we could potentially use dynamite to free the monarch, but I snapped, 'Think of the human cost, Ton. Besides which, we blow Arthur up along with the rock.' Puerto Rico Paul suggested using magic, and even offered to contact his mum Paulie, or the Witch of Tudor Street as she's more commonly known, to see if she knew any spells or enchantments that would work. I just sighed. This is high magic we're dealing with here, Paul. Merlin's perhaps the most famous magician of all time, even bigger than David Blaine. No disrespect to your mother, but she made her name telling fortunes in a caravan. I don't think she's up for the job." As we all just nodded our heads sagely and gazed intensely at the rock, swigging on the cans and getting wary looks from assorted day trippers, I had an eureka moment. "It's the sword in the stone!" I shrieked. "What is?" said Big Tony. "The recurring dream I've had since a youngster of me pulling a sword from a stone and everyone chanting the name Turnip over and over again. This is that stone!" I said, jumping on a slippery rock and nearly losing my footing and cracking my head open. "But there's no sword in it," said a perplexed-looking Puerto Rico Paul. "Not yet there isn't," I roared. "The legends have it all wrong. The sword needs to be thrust into the stone and then pulled out to liberate the once and future king. Excalibur works like a key. Unlucky for the world, the location of that key was revealed to me in a vision." "Where?" the boys cried in unison like a tuneless, drunken choir of middle-aged men washed up on a beach with no past or future but a vague and barely conscious hope of a better world. "Tredegar," I announced solemnly. "The birthplace of Bevan and the cradle of the NHS is also home to the Sword of Destiny." Turnip explained that just at that moment, a raven landed on the rock in between the waves and started crowing at them. "We took it as a sign we were on the right track," explained Turnip. "But its shrieking soon got annoying, so Puerto Rico Paul threw a half-empty can of lager at it and it cleared off. "Drink up, boys," I shouted. "We're headed up to find Excalibur and send the Space Boys home." "You can count on our steel, my lord," roared JFK Jones, which didn't go down well. There was something about JFK that had been getting under my skin of late. It wasn't just a ridiculous ski boot thing he had to wear because of his busted up ankle. His cheery bluster was hiding something sinister and vile. "This isn't some sort of big joke," I snapped. "We're in a real all-or-nothing quest here, and your Game of Thrones nonsense isn't welcome." Turnip said that JFK looked suitably abashed, but explained, "I'll forever kick myself for not realising we had a rat in the ranks sooner. Yet, even if we'd sniffed out JFK's treachery before he put the knife in our backs, the true scale of his betrayal will always leave me breathless." To be continued. All of these exploits and more are compiled in the collected works, The Manifest Trials and Tribulations of Johnny Turnip by Tim Butters. Available as paperback now, and you can find a link in the blog post for this episode at likelyused.co.uk.
Time for Tat in the Box. Tat in the Box.
There you go, yeah. That's it. I clapped once.
Oh, okay. It's time for Tat in the Box, Tat in the Box. Tat in the box, tat in the box. Tat in the box, tat in the box, tat in the box. Tat in the box. I think that was one too many, but never mind.
I can't talk very much, but my voice is fucked from doing like news.
You did have to do a lot of voices. It was a lot of acting. Yeah.
A lot of shouting in someone else's voice.
Yeah,
That'll
it's
teach
not
me.
easy.
God, I hope there's nobody talking in the next episode. It just do Johnny Turnip on his own. just be a monologue.
Or just read them all as the narrator.
I've got to record them at the end of the session.
Yeah. Probably
I've been saying that for months. I never have.
Maybe next time we'll remember. Okay. Are you ready to caress and guess?
I am. My eyes are closed and my hands are out.
Okie dokie. Let me just delve inside my box of delights.
It might have sounded different if I could speak properly.
Right, okay. I have placed item in front of you between your hands.
I'd like to think that would have sounded less pervy if I had better control of my throat than I was at the moment. Oh, the item is tiny.
There we are.
Oh, it's a multi-part item. Right, and this seems like there's a cardboard box that's open at one end with I don't know if that's a price tag or part of... Oh, it's coming off. I don't know if that was meant to happen. Sorry.
It's all right. It's very old, perished sellotape.
Oh, right. So it wasn't part of the...
No,
it wasn't
no.
like... Oh, that's okay. I'm guessing... Was that just to stop ththese things falling out?
Yes.
Whatever's in here? Oh, it's the Laurel and Hardy reels?
Uh-huh.
I've just felt a small film reel inside one of the boxes. Was it correct?
Yes,
Oh,
you
I
are
can open my
correct.
eyes.
You can open
Right.
your eyes. They are my Super 8 film reel collection.
I had the Mad Butler.
Yes, there are 3 in total. It's not a very big collection. One was bought from British Red Cross, the Mad Butler, the one that you've got in your hands now. And I think that was £5. There's Laurel and Hardy and the Car Wreckers and Bucky and Pepito's cartoon show. And they were bought together at a car boot sale for £4.50 for the 2.
I wish my voice wasn't naked. I'm just looking on the back of Laurel and Hardy in The Mad Butler. I'm going to try. Remember, when buying 8mm home movies, Mountain Films are the best. Tip-top home entertainment. Our latest catalogue is obtainable from your dealer, illustrating hundreds of exciting films. Mountain Films Limited present the best in home entertainment for your enjoyment. That's actually easier to do than my regular voice.
That was very good.
I'll have to keep speaking like this
I
for
must-
the rest of the show.
I must speak like a very posh man from the 1950s trying to sell
Received
something.
pronunciation.
Yes.
This
So-
is the BBC Home Service. Mountain Films are chosen for their content, quality, and entertainment value. Oh, I've messed up that.
Oh.
I've got to stop there.
Okay, so
You've got stuff to say about them.
I have.
I'm not
So-
just reading the backs of these.
for anybody that doesn't know what a Super 8 is, it is a small film reel. The film itself is 8mm, hence a Super 8. And these were for home entertainment, home cinema back in the 1950s and 60s, probably up until the 80s, I think. I'm sure my dad had a Brownie projector at some point. I have been watching Brownie projectors on eBay because I would like to see if the films are in any good condition.
Yeah, just to be able to play them somehow.
But I haven't gotten around to purchasing one yet. But they are cool little things, little objet d'art, I suppose. So yeah, perfect for the Brownie 8mm film projector. These were produced by Mountain Films Limited, as Adam has said beautifully with his BBC presenter voice. The Laurel and Hardy films, not the particular ones that I have, but similar, are listed on eBay from anywhere from $19.99 to as much as £40 each. Adam is slowly unravelling one of the reels now to see against the light if he can pick out the images.
I was trying to read what was on the very, very edge of this film, trying to see which way up it was. I think it says safety.
And there's one Bucky and Pepito reel on eBay at the moment called Pony Pals, and that is selling for £9.03 plus delivery. So compared to online prices, I think I've had a reasonable deal. Thank you very much to the British Red Cross and the nice lady at the Swansea car boot sale. I didn't do any research into Laurel and Hardy because most people will be aware of who they are, but they were a slapstick comedy duo, mostly back in the silent movie days. Yeah. That's when they started. It was all very physical comedy, and you know, they had their own millions of films. They did loads of stuff.
One of the most famous double acts of all time.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of a tie-in with a previous Bibliotat. They did end up working for RKO Studios.
Oh, did they?
Towards the end of their career.
There we are. I didn't know that. There we are. Cool. So what I did do is have a look at Bucky and Pepito. because I hadn't heard of them before, and I thought the box art was slightly of its time, shall we say. But anyway, Bucky and Pepito's cartoon show was a Western-themed animated TV series produced in 1959 by Sam Singer. Bucky is an American boy who dreams of being a cowboy, and Pepito is his Mexican friend, and he is an inventor. The episodes were roughly 5 minutes long. It's got 2.8 out of 10 on IMDb. So I guess most people aren't terribly impressed with 1959 cartoons.
We don't know how Pepito is portrayed yet.
Yeah.
We need the projector.
He's an inventor, so I don't know. It could be a kind portrayal, but given the time when this came out, I'm not sure. A chap called Dal McKennon voiced both Bucky and Pepito, and I believe he was a white man.
The voice could be the problematic area because nothing awful is being depicted on the cover. The cover looks fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of a Fred Flintstone character. There's a guy in a car.
Is there a sentient sombrero?
I think that's Pepito.
Oh, I thought that was him in the car.
No, I'm going to say that is Bucky and that is Pepito.
The cover might be problematic.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah, if that's the case, then Pepito is pretty much a child whose head has been replaced with an entire sombrero with some eyes.
Yeah, it's not the kindest.
I might need to withdraw some of my earlier statements. It's fine. I was
But anyway, if I ever do get round to getting a projector, I'll bring it round here and we can put it on the wall over there or something, and we can watch it together and we can see. I mean, two out of the 3 boxes are in relatively good condition. Yeah. The reels themselves are in good nick.
Well, I'd say 3 out of this is only just because it's folded at the bottom.
Yeah,
actually,
it's just a bit manky at the bottom.
It's not ripped or anything. It's just been damaged ever so slightly.
Yeah, and on the back, is there a catalogue on the back? Films to suit every taste include Charlie Chaplin, horror, A&M Dennis, animals, travel, Sooty and Sweep, aircraft, Our Gang, Shirley Temple, Harold Lloyd, cartoons, war, Laurel and Hardy, etc., etc. Standard 8, Super 8, sound, black and white and colour. Cool.
And it's got the address, the Mountain Films, West Central Street, London, WC1.
I bet they don't exist anymore.
Probably not. These are excellent. Okay, it's your turn to guess. Are you ready?
Yeah, gimme. I'll try very hard not to hit the microphone or the cables, although I'm aware that I'm swinging my feet, so I'm probably creating noise somewhere.
Sorry, I need to get my notes. There we go.
It's making it sound very heavy.
Okay, if you bring your arms together.
Is it on the table?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's not heavy.
No.
It's tiny.
I was acting.
You were actoring. Well done.
Just making grunty noises.
Okay. Is this something that is openable? Or would you like the plastic to remain? Is it like a grippy bag?
Yeah, I can.
That's okay.
It's hard to get out of.
That's fine. I don't think I need to take it out, but it is a little grippy bag.
Yeah, that's how I bought it.
Okay. So some sort of deck of card type thing.
Yes.
Inside a drug bag. Did the cards come with pills or dust?
That's exactly how I bought it, as you have it in your hand.
Okay. Is it safe to sniff?
I haven't, but I'm going to say yes.
So I'm going with it is some sort of deck of cards.
Yeah. Would you mean to get one out to help you with? Yeah,
actually. Let's see if feeling the actual card intuits my fingertips any further.
I don't know if you can get any more.
Plastic being so weird as it is.
No, it's just it's such a snug fit. with your eyes closed, you wouldn't be able to unsheath it.
I was going to say that's what she said, but then I thought better of myself.
I'll put them face up. There we go, in your hands.
Face up?
Yes.
Okay. So, the back is slightly textured. And The front is a bit, maybe deceptively smoother. I don't know. I'm running my fingertip along the underside and the top side trying to compare. I think the bottom is more textured than the top.
I'm going to give you that you've got it's a deck of cards. That's not it. No, counting won't help.
Oh, so there's not 52.
No. Deck of cards, you've got it right before it was even unpacked. I don't think you can get any closer than that.
I'm like, can I have a hazard a guess? Like if it's like a random top trumps or if it's just a standard deck of cards?
Well, I thought maybe the size might have helped getting them out of the packets.
I don't know. They're too small to be something like a community chest from Monopoly.
Not a playing card.
Yeah.
So for a board
They're
game.
like, if you, like, you know, like the decks of cards you get in Christmas crackers, the small ones. They're that sort of size, maybe slightly larger, but only marginally. But I don't know. Are there images of trucks on these?
Not trucks.
Oh. But
There
some
are
sort of
images
vehicle.
on one side. The other side is...
Hot Wheels?
no. The glossy side is the picture side. So,
Yeah. I don't know. Some sort of deck of cards with some sort of vehicle on.
Yeah, we'll give
That
you it.
may or may not be a top trumps travel size.
No, I was going to give it to you at deck of cards. But you've got incredibly close, weirdly, with your eyes closed.
Can
you
I
do
open
have
them?
psychic... Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, they're cars. Oh, they're cigarette.
Now,
They matchbox cards.
they're cigarette cards.
Cigarette cards.
Now, when we went to see Cheap Show live in Harrow last year, we met up with some of the other Churn Lady for All Stars
I know
and
where
visited
they're from.
TJ's parents' antique shop.
Yeah,
I
love
got
that
2
shop.
items.
You did, and one of them is in my flat.
Yeah, that was in episode 10, the 1966 to 1998 first day covers from Monaco.
Our most listened to episode.
Weirdly. But I also got these cigarette trading cards, a series of cigarette cards / trading cards, produced by Mobil Oil, the Vintage Cars series from 1966. They did a Veteran and Vintage Cars series in 1963,
Nice.
and the Story of Grand Prix Motor Racing in 1970.
Oh, cool.
There should be 24 cards in the series. My set is missing about 3 or 4, and there's quite a few doubles in there as well.
There are some doubles, yeah.
And the feature cards from 1920 to 1931 on the front. The illustrations themselves have got a bit of an Art Deco look to them, matching
They
sort of the
have.
period the cards are from. I think those are created... Again, I've got glaucoma, so my eyesight's terrible. I think they were cut out from pieces of paper, like with
Oh, really?
I think that's how the shapes were created. If you look at that, so like the Bustleback cars with spare tyre on the back, there's
Yeah.
a gap between the tyre.
Yeah, unless it's just the way it was printed.
So
Like
I
they may have been screen printed, and sometimes things don't line up quite right.
Oh,
But
that's
you
a good
could be
point.
correct.
But I think, trying to keep in with the period correct design of how car posters would have been done, possibly
Yeah.
with a scalpel cutting out the shapes of the paper and then drawing
Absolutely.
with arty pens to put in the shut lines like the doors, and maybe a little bit of airbrushing to get the chrome effect on bumpers here and there.
They're lovely things.
So on the back, then, there's a bit of information about each car, like the year they're in production, the engine, coachwork, and the price when they were new. But I paid £2 for this pack of cards, but online, prices are absolutely all over the place. Some folk are asking between £3 to £7 for individual cards.
What?
But you can also see ads for the complete set between £5 or £25.
That's mad.
Yeah, there's no real figure for them, so it's whatever someone's willing to pay, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
£2 I figured, that seems very reasonable.
Absolutely. They're lovely things.
Yeah, she'll take some photos for these. But pictures of all the items we've discussed and links to everything we talk about on the show on the blog, lightlyused.co.uk. Hello, it's Adam doing the editing of the episode. The game that we said that we were going to play at this point, listening back, it was just Karen and me playing cards, which didn't really translate to audio very well, so I'm going to have to skip that this episode. If you're keeping track of the score at home, Karen won. But we did record some audio when we were in Abergavenny. Thank you very, very much, TJ of the Variety Show, for the fancy as all hell lapel mics. Like an idiot, I wore mine far too close underneath my chin, so the audio's a little bit muffled. I've done what I can to clean it up. So in lieu of a game, here's Karen and me sitting around a picnic table in Abergavenny Castle. This is our first
out and about.
An adventure.
We've taken the Tatmobile and we're in Abergavenny.
We are sat in the gardens in Abergavenny Castle.
So far, we've pretty much just pulled up in the Swan Meadows car park.
Yes.
We're recreating or following the Oracle of Spikes trail. So we're pulling the stone circle in the Swan Meadow car park, the Eisteddfod stones. And we followed what we presume to be the trail a hedgehog took Johnny Turnip and friends on through the town centre. Along the side of the castle, we found some potential climbing places over the wall.
Photographic evidence will be on the blog.
Only a recreation. I didn't actually climb.
He only got 1 foot up, one leg up.
I stood in the pose. That was it.
Actionman pose.
I was just acting. You can see how convincing it is on the blog. So we come around through the castle and we've been looking for potential places where Johnny Turnip and friends might have camped. We found 2 potential places. One, a little undercrofty bit where if you wanted you could sleep standing up inside the castle undetected apart from maybe your feet if someone shone a torch in the right place. And we found a little Victorian garden area near the museum, which is very, very nice.
It's very sweet. There's sort of willows that are planted in semicircles that arch over. They're all intertwined with one another, and there's little love seat benches underneath those. We're actually sat on a big wooden picnic bench because, you know, love seats and all that. But with the sun is shining in between the clouds, there's a bit of a breeze, so I'm sorry if you can hear that, but it does sound nice going through the leaves.
That's the reason I wanted to sit on the table on here because, we need a table.
Yeah.
We've got bags and stuff, and also the love seats are all in the shade.
That's true, but I am like transparent skinned, so shade is good for me.
You can sit over there, I'll watch you.
So I would say it's about, 20 degrees?
Ish.
Yeah, about 20 degrees. That's enough for me to get burnt. So I'm wearing a baseball cap today to try and avoid some of that. But nice day so far. The museum is beautiful.
What we can see outside. We haven't actually been in there yet.
Yeah, we've not been in yet. But it does look lovely. The repointing on the turrets is particularly nice. And weirdly, I like the green window frames.
Yeah, it is kind of pastel green.
Yeah, very pastel,
nice.
like pistachio, I would say.
Oh yeah, it's good shout.
Yeah.
Not quite the avocado green from 70s interiors.
Oh no, definitely not. It's not like one of those awful bathroom suites. I bet there's still houses with those in, you know,
I think
and not all abandoned.
I'm pretty sure at any moment now someone's going to come and disturb us. Go, they look like they're relaxing in a nice spot on their own. I will go and sit over there as well.
Yeah,
We've seen quite a few people coming out of the museum looking directly at us, chilling in this little quiet area.
Yeah, I think we have picked the biggest archway to sit under, willow-wise, because we've got a big picnic bench and another bench. There's some that don't have benches, they're just little nooks.
There's a chap went past on the bike directly eyeballing us as well.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You've got a bench right there on the hill if you want to sit there.
Yeah. There's millions of daisies out on the hill on the way up to the museum. It's like, the museum is like a big square turret, I guess. A big square castle with little turrets on top.
Take a photo after a little picnic break.
On top of a grassy knoll. And the grassy knoll is absolutely plastered in really big, what are they, bullseye daisies, the big ones called? I don't know. Can't remember. Big daisies.
I think dog daisies are the even bigger ones, aren't they?
I have no idea. Dog daisy sounds like something you do rather than something it is.
Clearly not botanists. Come to the wrong podcast for that.
Yeah. No, botany not our us. It's nice. Peaceful. You can hear the church bells in the background. I don't know if that's standard Sunday service or if it's someone getting married. It sounds like wedding bells.
It's been pealing for a while.
Yeah. You can hear all the little birdies, all the blackbirds singing away to themselves. What's the plan for the rest of the day anyway?
Well, we need to see if we can find where the Abergavenny Chronicle's located. I've got no other clue. I thought it would take longer to get here, I'll be honest.
Is this about 50 minutes from where?
Oh no, the walk.
From you? Oh, the walk.
Yeah, I thought it might take just a little bit longer.
I see.
No idea what we're going to do next.
Bibliotat.
Nearly at the end.
Nearly at the end. I'm dying slowly. I'll make this as brief as possible. This is the Reader's Digest, Mysteries of the Unexplained, how ordinary men and women have experienced the strange, the uncanny, and the incredible.
Ooh.
I got this from the YMCA in Llanelli at the same time that we were raiding the Disney book collection from a fortnight ago. And this was also in the free box, so I can't complain. This is a 1988 reprint with corrections. The initial version ran from 1982 onwards. I think there were a couple of subsequent reprints. And out of all of the sections in the book, I have picked a little bit about spontaneous human combustion in the unearthly fates section.
This looks an awful lot like one of the books my grandmother had. I wonder if she just had a different edition of it. Is the picture of the burnt chair with just the feet there?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't look at every single page. I've picked out a couple of stories from the section.
Okay.
So, the reason this book is coming back is because it's full of stuff I love.
It's in good condition.
It's in really good nick. I definitely think it was either someone's coffee table book or someone's bookshelf book that maybe got thumbed through once or twice, but that was about it. But it covers a whole host of stuff that makes me happy. So the first section is just like the introduction is called The Endless Search for Answers. Then there's Beyond the Walls of Time. Ooh. Unearthly Fates. Ooh. Monsters and more.
I was waiting for a noise.
You can do a voice for the next one. The Unquiet Sky.
No, I can't do a Jetsons.
Fair enough. No
Yeah,
UFO impressions or anything.
I've got a bad throat.
Pew pew. And then The Realm of Miracles. I'm not entirely sure what you would. Yeah. Angel singing noise. Good shout. So anyway, after all of that, so this will come back because I will find more stories that suit my kink in here for weird shit. Okay, so Unearthly Fates. Unearthly, indeed, is the fate of bursting into flame without benefit of ignition from any known source, an occurrence shared by an impressive number of unfortunates. Another manifestation of attack by agencies unknown is the rash of cattle mutilations on western ranches, the explanations for which are as strange as the events themselves. Examples of demonic possession and curses that can kill are almost too fanciful to believe. In the minds of the victims, their power is all too real. Unearthly also are the cases of people who appear seemingly from nowhere, and those who suddenly and inexplicably disappear into the unknown. Adam's looking at his phone.
No, I was just trying to find which member of Spinal Tap spontaneously combusted.
Oh, right.
Sorry, which members?
So what I've done is just highlight for myself 2 little sections from the introduction of spontaneous human combustion and then 2 very short stories. So this is page 80 of the book. It's quite a long book.
Yeah.
There's 300 pages or so. So spontaneous human combustion is a well-documented phenomenon in which a human body ignites and burns without any known contact with an external source of fire. In some cases, damage is slight. In others, the victim is reduced to ashes. And in some of the strangest cases, nearby objects escape relatively unscathed. The chair or bed on which the victim was sitting or lying, and even the clothes on the charred body, may be undamaged or only slightly singed. Often, too, a single foot, a leg, or the tips of some fingers remain intact, although the rest of the body is consumed. Cases of spontaneous human combustion, SHC in brackets, began to appear in medical reports as far back as the 17th century. And by the 20th century, the literature abounded in detailed accounts of inexplicable human incineration. Over a span of 4 centuries, more than 200 such incidents have been reported. Skip to the next bit.
It's a lot more popular than you'd think.
Yeah, I know. To be honest, I don't think I'd mind being a spontaneous human combustion mystery case.
Oh, in theory. I mean, nobody's written around it to say, Jenny just went up in flames. Wouldn't stop screaming.
Wouldn't stop playing with matches, that stupid bitch. I told her for months she was going to get herself into trouble.
There's no source of ignition, remember?
Yeah, but the match will have burnt up with the body. There'd be no evidence left if it was all ash.
No, it's all magic. They just
it's
go
all
up.
woo-woo. Okay, so I've picked 2 stories from the before 1800 timeline.
Clothes were a lot more staticky back then.
They were, a lot heavier back then. Okay, so before 1800, one of the earliest well-attested cases of spontaneous human combustion was recorded by Thomas Bartholin in 1673. A poor, in brackets, woman of the people, probably homeless, was mysteriously consumed by fire in Paris. She had been a heavy drinker of, in inverted commas, strong spirits, to the point of not taking any nourishment for 3 years. One evening she went to sleep on a straw pallet and was burned up during the night. In the morning, only her head and the ends of her fingers were found. All of the rest of her body was reduced to ashes. The incident was recounted by Pierre Aimé Lair, who in 1800 published his first comprehensive essay on the subject of human combustion.
I think that was murder.
American Medicine, 9627, April 22, 1905.
I think someone burned that poor woman alive.
Murder. There's been a murder. But I guess the implication is she drank so much spirit that she just combusted from
fumes inside.
Being so highly flammable that being near to something that was mildly warm just caused her to go. Okay. Next one and last one. I'll keep this short. I'm not going to read the entire story. I've just picked out the first section. An unusually vivid and detailed report of inexplicable human incarceration was given by Claude Nicolas Lecat, not Le Chat.
Human incarceration?
An unusually vivid and detailed report of inexplicable human incineration. I got it right that time. Incineration, Karen, not incarceration. Incineration. Feel free to not remove the edit, by the way. I'm quite happy for people to know how much of a dick I am. Incineration was given by Claude Nicolas Lecat, a physician serving as an apprentice surgeon in Rheims, France, where he stayed at a local inn. The innkeeper, Jean Millet, had a nagging wife, who got drunk every day. It's funny, it's another alcohol story. On the night of February 19th, 1725, the inn was full of people in anticipation of a big fair the next day. Millet and his wife, Nicole, retired early. Madame Millet could not sleep and got up to go downstairs into the kitchen, probably to follow her usual habit of drinking herself insensible in front of a warm fire. Her husband fell asleep. Around 2 o'clock in the morning, he woke up with a start. He smelled fire and rushed downstairs, banging on the doors along the way to wake up any sleeping guests. When the panicked group arrived in the big kitchen, what they found burning was not the inn, but the innkeeper's wife, Madame Millet. She was lying close to the fireplace, suspect, and was almost totally consumed by fire. Only part of her head and her lower limbs and a few vertebrae remained. A small section of the flooring under her body had been burned through, and a chair she usually sat on next to the fireplace was slightly scorched, but nothing else in the room was touched by fire.
I think it was an ember landing on her clothes, which were particularly flammable.
I wonder, they say they retired early for the night. She gets up and goes downstairs for a drink like she normally does, but like I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning for a cup of tea because I'm wide awake like normal. And so say they go to bed, what do you reckon early would be in 1725? Like 3 p.m? 4 p.m? No, they're innkeepers. They're innkeepers, aren't they?
What time of year was it as well?
Yeah,
Was it summer or
February.
winter?
It was winter, February 1725.
I think you're probably still looking at maybe
So,
8 o'clock
Yeah,
at night.
even if they've gone to bed at 8 o'clock, I'm sure if she'd set herself alight deliberately at 8 p.m. in the kitchen, and they got down, the husband and everyone ran downstairs at 2 a.m., I don't think 4 hours is enough time to burn the vast majority of a human body down to ash in just a general fire consumption situation. Like, there's nothing else. It's just that basically the fat on her body that's providing the fuel for the fire.
The Wick effect.
Yeah.
Not the John Wick effect.
No, that's very different. So, yeah, I don't think 4 hours is enough. Like, I'm pretty sure it takes about 4 hours to cremate a whole body now in the incinerators that we have.
But you're forgetting how much she drank.
She was
All of these lushes
She
that go
was-
near fires and just trying to get comfortable. And then
pure alcohol.
exploding from the inside out in the night.
So, yeah, there's
Don't drink,
there's
ladies.
quite a few
Sorry, it would
stories
be
of,
women that
of
became-
very drunk women somehow just spontaneously whooshing into non-existence.
Yeah, I think these circumstances are a little bit more suspicious than they're being
So-
reported as.
But there's
I
loads.
didn't set my wife on fire. I didn't set fire to that whore in the shed.
Yeah. Case of
I
spontaneous
don't know if she was
combustion.
when they said a woman of the people. I don't know if that's how they meant.
Oh, this is an interesting section. Right, okay. I didn't read this far through the book. Spontaneous human combustion is not a phenomenon recognised by 20th century science. It is not listed in International Classification of Diseases compiled by the World Health Organization, nor is it a subject heading in the Index Medicus, the National Library of Medicine's Index of Biomedical Literature. Despite the evidence of police and fire authorities, arson specialists, coroners and pathologists, most doctors and scientists regard seemingly indisputable cases as simply not thoroughly investigated. However, such scepticism was not always prevalent. The 17th and 18th century spontaneous combustion, especially for drunkards, was regarded as divine retribution. But by the 19th century, advances in biology and chemistry encouraged researchers to look for more mundane causes for these seemingly inexplicable fires. A number of additional possibilities were suggested that, alone or in various combinations, amount to such bizarre occurrences. I'll just give you this quick list. I won't read the rest.
Okay, yeah. What sort of proof alcohol were they drinking at the time?
Well, fuck knows.
Was it just wine, or were they thinking methylated spirits?
It's probably the equivalent of meth back then. Like, I can't imagine the distilling process was that fancy in the.
But wasn't the
1700s.
first lady in France?
Yeah, she was fucked off her face on liquor, definitely.
They know how to make wine.
They do.
They're famous for it.
But yeah, but what if you don't like wine?
What's the orange liqueur? Cointreau, that's
Cointreau.
French. So reaching there.
Une Cointreau double, s'il vous plaît. Avec limonade petite.
Sylvus Plat.
Civil's plot.
Murky Bucket.
Yeah, that's the one. So, quick list of potential suspects for causing spontaneous human combustion. Intestinal gases are flammable. Cadavers produce gases that are flammable. Haystacks and compost heaps can build up enough heat for spontaneous combustion. Certain elements and compounds spontaneously burst into flames when exposed to air. This is true of phosphorus, for example, which is a constituent of the human body. Some chemicals that are inert alone combine to form explosive compounds. The luminescence emitted by certain insects and fishes proves the possibility of internal fire, in brackets, of some kind. Fats and oils, which the human body contains in abundance, are excellent fuels. Static electricity produces sparks that could, under certain conditions, set a body on fire.
Especially with the type of clothing they might have had back then.
Well, you know, I think stories about spontaneous human combustion were things that I heard about in unsolved mysteries and stuff in the 1980s, 1990s on TV. Bit like quicksand and things you don't really see anymore that if you're from our generation, you were petrified of as a child. But as an adult, these things just don't seem to exist anymore. No one really talks about quicksand anymore like it's the most dangerous thing in the world. But when I was a kid on the beach, I was petrified.
But actual dangerous things, nobody's talking about, like playing next to substations, going across railway lines.
That's true.
Water near quarries. Bring those PSAs back.
Yeah, I miss PSAs. I used to quite enjoy them.
Like crossing the road and stuff like that. Especially now with people head down on the mobile phones.
Yeah.
They don't look. PSAs need to be brought back.
They really do. And I tell you what, not once did I climb into a substation after seeing that PSA.
No, that frisbee's gone.
Fuck the frisbee, fuck the kite, whatever it was, it can stay there because I would rather be alive. Thanks. Well, you lovely, beautiful, gorgeous, excuse my box making weird noises,
Phrasing.
smelly bar stewards, you've made it to the end of our 25th episode, and I've worked out that in roughly 6 weeks, Adam and I will be, if I've worked it out correctly, recording our 1 year anniversary episode. Our one anniversary. So I have put it in my calendar as a reminder to myself for 2 weeks before the date that it's supposed to be released. So hopefully we'll actually get an anniversary celebratory thing out on the week that it's meant to be, as opposed to like Christmas and it was like 3 weeks after or whatever.
I was going to say the furthest I was going to go is I'll make sure to mention it on that episode then. when you put it in your calendar.
Oh, no.
I have to do something.
I might present you with a challenge or something.
I will have nothing beyond the usual prepared. I'm not going to do anything special. I don't celebrate my birthday. I'm not celebrating the birthday of something inanimate.
Oh, God. Oh, I know, but it's for the listeners.
Listeners, you cannot care more about this podcast than me. If I don't care, you cannot care about our birthday. That's going to be really weird if you care more about it than me.
But I care. They can care for me.
You can only care about it as much as care. Oh, that's still going to be a lot.
You can only 50% care about it.
Yeah, only half-arse it.
Yeah, that's fine.
One cheek, no more.
Oh.
I guess Karen can get to choose.
Left.
There we go.
Left cheek, please.
All about compromises.
Yeah.
We're part of the Studio Channel 84 network, a small group of indie podcasts. There's the Variety Show, the Untitled Sci-Fi Show, and Who Takes the Socks Off, plus their minisodes, Socks On or Off, where guests get to spin the wheel of Would You Rathers. Check them out, have a listen, subscribe, tell a friend, and you can find us all at channel84.co.uk. Our bit of the site is lightlyused.co.uk. We've got blog posts, photographs of our tats, links to lightly used news articles in the Abergavenny Chronicle, and if we can find them, we'll link to the Bibliotat book on the Internet Archive as well. Also, there's links to our socials. I'll go through them now. Blue Sky, Instagram, we've got the Facebook thing, YouTube, Twitter, and do we do Discord? There is a Discord.
There is a Discord, but I'm really rubbish at it, and I think maybe only other network members and Matt from APOC are in it, so...
I don't know what it's about, so
It's fine. I post notifications of new episodes on there, and there's a forum for other people that, you know, produce things creatively, their own podcasts or their own YouTube videos or whatever. They can promote themselves on there as well. It just creates a little community space for us all to go, oh, well done, I enjoyed that.
I'm sorry, I'm not social on the internet at all.
That's fine. That's fine, I don't
But thank you all very much for taking part. You're much better people than me.
and me, probably.
No, you're the one posting everything on there. You've got a Facebook sorted. No. If it wasn't for you, we'd have no listeners at all.
I don't know.
No, I do know.
People only listen out of sympathy, I'm sure. It's like, oh, we know Karen, I feel obliged. All right, we'll listen. Although I
Works for me.
think my dad genuinely enjoys it, but I'm sure everyone else listens out of obligation. If you don't listen out of obligation but enjoyment, please feel free to drop us a line at
pod@lightlyused.co.uk, but Ed will say that in a moment at the end of the show.
There we are. Thanks, Ed.
Adam and Karen have been lightly used. Visit lightlyused.co.uk for more. To get in touch, email pod@lightlyused.co.uk.
before we move on to lightly used news,
Stop throwing your pen around.
I've got to
What's the
stop
matter
playing with
you?
my fidgeting.
It's because I'm talking bollocks. You're
No.
bored of me.
That's because I smoke heavily. I'm used to having something to do with my hand. As you can tell.
This was a Studio Channel 84 network show. To find more, head over to channel84.co.uk now.